Happy that you're here, happy that you wake up in the morning, happy that you have people that all come out to support each other and love each other. And that's one thing Becca taught me was, when you wake up and you feel pretty good, be happy you're around. And I would hope that everybody got something out of this. To me, it teaches me a lesson every day, and I truly am humbled to share this with everybody here. This is very personal for me. I know it's not my documentary or my film, but everybody knows that when I went through my sickness, I didn't let people in the hospital room, I didn't let people, come up to the house. I didn't like to be seen that way. And I always tried to put on a good act. That's the reality of a lot of it. It sucks. So for me to let you see another side of some of the things that I went through, and just some of the basic stuff, it's hard for me to let you guys into that part of my life, but I'm thrilled that I did. I'm going to bring up a couple people here, let them speak. Also, if you have any questions during it, ask the questions. There always seems to be a couple questions and answers throughout it. And first one I'd like to bring up to the mic is John. John, again, was him and his brother. If they didn't give me the confidence to try to get a venue like this and try to put it on here, I don't think I would have done it. Again, they told me not to worry about things, and anybody knows me, that's all I do is worry. Tonight went off, knock on wood, I'm done talking, without a hitch. So it couldn't have gone any better, and to have the friends and family here, it's wonderful. John's main goal and Jason's, besides keeping me calm, was to do most of the big fundraising, and they did a phenomenal job. So I'd like John to come up and just give some credit to the people that really helped me out making this happen.
How's it going, everybody? Just want to thank you all for coming out tonight. I hope you all enjoyed the film. I hope you're all as emotionally touched as I was by it. Even if you didn't know Becca, I think you can get on board with the message. I just want to thank Jason for the strength of his battling and bringing all this together. Without him, obviously we wouldn't have the drive to do this as well. I'd like to thank all my friends and family that came tonight. My father, who was also a colon cancer survivor especially. Everybody that made the trip out here. I wanted to thank our sponsors, University of Scranton, Mohegan Sun Casino, the Lee Fertility Clinic, Genetti's for the rooms, we have Rosa Jenkins Greenwall, so many other sponsors that gave. I really have to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and all the donors especially, everybody that came to see the film. And I'm going to throw it right back to Jason. Thank you everybody coming tonight.
We're still in a debate on who is the better looking one on PA Live. He's younger, so I'll throw it to him. Next up is the very reserved, quiet, and non-opinionated Mary. Yes, you.
Not me, I got nothing to say. Questions, I'm happy to answer.
All right, she will answer questions. But again, when we get done with everybody, if you do have questions, make sure you ask. Some of us have gone through this, some of us are going through certain things, and you're not going to get somebody better. Mary's also a nurse that knows the system and knows how things work. So definitely, if you have any questions, ask. I will go to the dynamic duo now, Krista and Jim. Krista is the head of the Colon Club, which is a phenomenal organization. Her husband, Jim, is a colon rectal surgeon, and it's a great story, and they do great things for colon cancer awareness.
I'm at the Colon Club. I've been with them in many different aspects for many years, probably about seven years now. I'm freezing to death, so I'm not nervous. Any of you who know me, I'm not shy, so I'm just freezing to death. Anyway, I wanted to thank Jason very much, and John, and anyone else who participated or helped put this together. Even if you didn't know Becca, like John said, this is her legacy. This is how she will use her voice and everything that she went through to educate others about knowing her family history and about colon cancer awareness. And not only that, but young adults being diagnosed, it's not just a cancer diagnosis, it's so much more than that. They're a visitor in our world, and nothing goes back to normal. So I appreciate you guys coming out tonight and supporting Jason and supporting the Colon Club and supporting Mary. Those of you who didn't know Becca, she was a fabulous young lady that did everything with grace, and she did touch so many lives across the United States and even beyond.
And still is.
Nationally, and still is. So through this documentary, we can do so many more things than just educate people, empower them, support them. So thank you guys very much.
My name is Jim Waller, married to Krista. I would like to thank the entire cast and crew up here for bringing me into this. Becca said something during this film that really struck me. I'd never seen the entire film before. I'd seen excerpts from it. And she said, I have loved life, but it has not loved me back. And for me, it's been just the opposite. I mean, I've loved life, and life has loved me back. I've been very blessed, very fortunate. I've been very healthy. I'm very thankful that through people like Becca, the association with my wife, who has brought me into a different way of looking at patients. So I'm so thankful for what I've learned in the last probably 10 years. Because it's one thing to be lucky enough and smart enough to go to school and study science and do something that you love. And it's even better and it's even more rewarding to get to know people on a personal level and understand them better and learn to take care of them better. And I owe that to these people up here and many of you in the audience that I've met, members of the Colon Club. I've really come to look at life a lot different than I did before. I look at it more as a human being now, and that's really been valuable to me. Thank you.
Finally, I'm going to have Miguel come up and speak a little bit about, what he got through the film and creating the documentary and sharing it. And then I'll have a couple other things in closing after that. I promise I won't keep it too long. But a humongous thank you to the next gentleman coming up here. To be able to catch and to create something like that, to let Becca's dream and mission live on and truly go international, it couldn't have been done any better. It truly, and I'm biased obviously, but when I truly watch this, it has captured the struggles and the reality of what this disease is. So my hat is off to Miguel and the wonderful job he did.
What can I say? Thank you tremendously for doing this. Thank you everybody who was involved, and of course it's a great pleasure to be here with all of you, And I have to say this, I have to bring this up, like 2 people work with me, like in equally, like Sam Goreshi and Scott Bush. You probably read their names there, so every time we screen this film, their names have been mentioned because we did it together. So, try to be brief. When I was 16, I had a girlfriend I really loved, and she had leukemia, and we were together in the whole process. A lot of you know how that goes. Thank God she recovered, but of course, my life changed tremendously because as those things were happening to her, and we're very much in love, you keep thinking, what does this all mean? What does this mean? And you can't quite understand if you're not a patient. You never will. And many years later, Becca and I met. We went to school together before she got sick, before she got diagnosed. And after that, of course, I learned that she was sick, and we began to talk. We met a couple times, and then she told me her story as eloquently as you just saw in the movie. And all of a sudden, everything dawned on me. Like, she pretty much explained better than anyone what is it that we are trying to understand when something like that happens. And we began to talk, and she wrote what she wrote, and we needed to put on film, and that's how the film came about. And to be able to be here today, after all of this with Mary right here, I don't know what to say. It's really important. I'm moved, and I'm happy that Beck and I, as son and Scott, were able to do this. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Finally, before we move out, they're going to let us stay in the lobby area a little bit. I'd like to obviously finally now get some pictures with some people and I can relax a little bit. I was running around a little bit, just making sure everything was right, even though it was before this. So I'd like to get some pictures with everybody. My final thanks is to everybody here. The constant support for my illness for 6 or 7 years, not only to me, but to my family, to my wife. Just the love and the respect that everybody has shown me, and by coming out here, it is truly humbling. I know I haven't been a great friend sometimes for 6 or 7 years here, but hopefully that explains a little bit of it. It's hard to feel good and to understand how to feel good again when you've been sick so long, and working on it. So thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for your support, and hopefully you guys will stay around the lobby a little bit. We'll get some pictures. Thank you.